Hi, welcome to my day. Um, I wanted to get on and do this before the boys all woke up. Um, Today I am taking Miles to the dentist. It has been just this long ordeal. I love the kids' dentist office. They are great with the children. They're great with special needs kids, and I've always had a good experience. Um, so with the boys. But this last time, let's see, beginning of October, I took Miles for a checkup, and he has a molar coming in above one of his baby molars, and it's coming out through his gum above his tooth, which I think that happens to people, and usually it just pushes the baby tooth out. Um, but it's still there. They said just to keep an eye on it, and it should come out eventually. But if it doesn't, to check back in with them. So with the holidays and family visiting from out of the country and stuff, I waited, and it didn't seem to be bothering him too much. Well, it started to bother him, I think, because now, granted, he does go through spells where he will not eat great off and on, and it always worries us. And then it comes back to him eating again. I don't know if it's a growth spurt or what it is. But he, um, beginning of December, started to drool a whole lot more. He wears a patch for drooling, so it decreases it. But he started to drool a whole lot more. He's putting his hand up to his mouth more. Um, he's starting to get chapped and stuff. I like made him a thing to put around his hand so his hand doesn't get all wet all the time. And then he's smearing it all over his face. I just sewed two bibs together, his drool bibs, and put a strap on it to fasten it to his hand. It's been working pretty well as far as trapping his face getting trapped goes. Anyways, back to the dentist. So I took him back to the dentist December 6th, I think. I just looked at it. Of course, I forget now. December 6th, I took him back in to get this tooth checked because I was worried that it was bothering him. He doesn't cry much at all, doesn't fuss, so his pain tolerance is very high, and it makes it hard for me to discover when he's in pain to help him. So I took him back December 6th, and they looked at it, and the dentist said they took an x-ray. There's a root that's holding on because it's starting to get discolored. The tooth is, which I guess makes sense because some of the roots are disconnected. But it's hardly able to wiggle it. Like, it's not super wiggly at all. Otherwise, I would just work on it that way. So the dentist says we can do two different things. We could have him go to the hospital, put him under anesthesia, get an x-ray of all the teeth, and just see which of them are all ready to come out, but are just hanging on. So all of the baby ones that are just like being like a hat sitting on top of the new ones, they would just take them all out at once. I was worried they'd be like, will he not have any teeth left to chew? She's like, no, these are just the ones that are baby ones that are ready to come out. He'll have the teeth right underneath, just like this one. Like, okay. Or we could do it in office, and it'll be uncomfortable and a little traumatic probably, and but we could do it in office and just do the one. So I said, I'll talk to my husband, I'll get back to you. So obviously we picked the one in the hospital to get him all done at once and be done with it. So then I called and let them know. They said they would call to schedule it. So I wait and I wait. I call back. So that was a Wednesday. I call back on Monday and I say, hey, they never called to schedule this. And the woman says, well, we schedule that on Fridays and I wasn't here on Friday. Okay, so I wait until the following Monday and I call, and they just were like, sorry we didn't call, I'll get back to you. Like, kind of like they just forgot to call him. I don't know, they didn't schedule me. So then I wait another week and call, and they say um, that they weren't there again to schedule for the OR. And I said, and she said, I'll talk to, and then she said, it's not a big deal. We are booked out till May anyways. And I was like, what? Like, why? This defeats the purpose then. She's like, well, let me talk to Dr. Let me talk to the doctor, and I'll call you back in 5 minutes. Cause I was like, I'm feeling a certain way that you're leading me on here. And they never called back. And so that was a Wednesday I called. Okay. And then, so I worked on a Thursday, and then, so I called on Friday again. And at this point, I was just upset. So this is, and apparently, so it's right by Christmas. So they weren't in that day. The schedulers weren't in that day. And I said, look, I'm getting my days mixed up. I called like 4 times. So it was it Friday? Yeah, it was Friday. I called, and I felt bad for her because okay, yeah, so it was Friday. And she said the schedulers aren't in today, but I can take a look. Because at this point I said, look, I'm feeling that we are not very valued, and he is bothered by it. She said, let me look at the schedule. I'm not usually one who schedules, but I could maybe reserve a spot. She said, it's booked out till May. And I said, look, he's in pain. I can't wait till May. I said, if it's booked till May, then it defeats the whole purpose of getting this tooth removed, because it's not like it's like a whatever surgery that we're just doing for looks or something. I said, fine, we'll just do it in the office then and have it be uncomfortable. And she said, well, we're booked out till March for that. And I said, well, I don't understand. Like, you're the dentist office. This is something that needs to be done. And so I'm starting to cry on the phone. And she's like, well, we'll put you down for this March one. She said, the doctor comes in before and after surgery sometimes, and maybe she could fit you in, and we'll put you on the cancellation list and try to get you in. And in the meantime, I will email the dentist and let her know the situation. I said, because I'm thinking, like, why would you offer these better solutions if you can't do it? So I mean, I was talking to my neighbor who's a nurse, and she said, well, sometimes, oftentimes doctors don't understand what the schedule looks like, and so they'll promise these things, and the nurses won't be able to put them in because the schedule's crazy. And I'm like, well, that's not okay. Like, don't give me doctors and dentists should not give me these options and then not check with your staff first if it's an option before you tell us. So basically, I'm going to be like, look, you either need to hire a new dentist to help you with your caseload, or you need to have a better communication system with your nurses and know what how far your schedule is out, because it's not going to do me any good to come in May. Hopefully the tooth will come out by then. Otherwise, it'll be a mess. So I'm like crying on the phone. She's like, well, I'll do this for you. And I'm like, either, or I need to find a new dentist who can fit me in, because this is ridiculous. So she said she would email the dentist and get back to me. So she calls me back, finally. Someone who calls me back, because she was like, I know, I understand, I have children, and when they're in pain, blah, blah, blah. I didn't even tell her about the special needs that he has, and he doesn't communicate and all that stuff. So she calls me back, and she says, I can fit you in next Thursday with a different dentist, and they're going to have 2 extra staff there to be able to help hold him still, because usually things go better than I imagine in my head, and having his high pain tolerance usually is helpful. However, pulling a tooth, I don't know how traumatic that will be, and he's pretty strong, but hopefully it's ready to come out and it won't be such a big deal. But still, I am still going to say something in the office, and hopefully I won't cry and make a big scene. I won't make a big scene out of anger, but me crying in the office might be a scene. Anyways, so I think it's something that needs to be said, that is it across the board that all doctors are just swamped? Like, are there not enough doctors and dentists out there? Because I feel like they're everywhere. Are there just too many people for the amount of dentists and doctors that we have? Uh, Either way, communication needs to be better. Yeah, because I'm not happy about that. I don't know if I just slipped under the radar and they just lost track of us. If I should have been calling every day instead of waiting a week, probably. Either way, I guess I'll do an update after this afternoon and let you know how it goes. Do another video, but hopefully it will go good. All right, I'm gonna go help Miles. Oh, and I want to add, I think I forgot to say that Sunday, Christmas Eve morning, he used his talker to say sick, and then he said medicine. So I took him to his hurt folder, and in his hurt folder he said mouth. So I can tell it's hurting him. He didn't eat a whole lot today for breakfast, so hopefully the gas that they use will make him docile enough, and his show on my phone will help him be calm enough for it to go smoothly. Miles, you did such a good job. They didn't even need to use the nitrous. They just numbed him at the site. And since it's out, he has been smiling and making happy sounds. So I think you're happy it's out, huh? What do you think? You're glad that the tooth is out now? Yeah. You're so happy. So here's my tooth. It looks so much smaller in real life than when it's in your mouth, huh? Ooh, I dropped it. Here, you hold the phone while I get to pick up your tooth. But it was hanging on in a couple spots, huh? It was crazy to see. It's not gonna focus, is it? Anyways, does it feel better? Thanks. I say thanks everybody for praying for me. We had people praying for you, didn't we? Yeah. And you had Barney on, so you were listening to Barney and trying to watch Barney, and they were encouraging you. They're so good at saying, you're doing such a good job. Because you do such a good job. See, Mommy had to hold your arms down, right? And then the two helpers held your head. And the hygienist pulled out your tooth, right? Yeah. You're so happy. I think you're glad to have it out. You're not usually this happy without music or TV, huh? Yeah. That was a long couple months with that tooth coming in. And not having that other one out yet. So I didn't cry in the office. I didn't talk to anybody about it. I think I'm gonna write a letter to the dentist still and just say, hey, just be aware of this. Don't suggest something that isn't possible to make things easier. So luckily this wasn't as traumatic as I thought it could be. And they did hold his mouth open with this little rubber wedge thingy. It didn't seem to hurt you. It kind of bothered you to put it in, but it was okay then. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. So I'm thankful that God helped us out in that way. So, say thanks for watching. So you were made on purpose. God loves you. Right? Are you a little numb here? Your lips going a little crooked. All right. Say thank you for watching. Have a good one.